Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gamers Conclave. This is a new channel. We are a two-man team, and for our first video, we chose Battleborn. This is a game that we've both played a lot. We love this game. This is something that we're very comfortable with, and this is the first episode in our Battleborn character builds series. And today we're going to be looking at Kleese, so let's get into it. Alright, Kleese is listed as territorial, shielder, and complex. I don't think he's that complex of a character. However, new players can have a little bit of a difficult time trying to figure him out. So hopefully you guys can learn something from this video, and I do hope that you enjoy it. To the right, you can see descriptions for all of his abilities and passives. I'm not going to go through and read all these. We'll be here all day. Kleese's primary attack is Wrist Cannon, and his alternate is Shock Taser. Wrist Cannon has a decent rate of fire and decent bit of range to it. His Shock Taser is a short range, it's mainly for melee characters or for minions that get very close, things of that nature, and they will arc to additional. They'll arc out to multiple enemies. And before I go any further, I just want to say I do apologize for any mistakes that I may make. This is very new to me. I do hope to get better with practice, so I hope you guys can bear with me. All right, skill 1 is Energy Rift, and it will restore friendly shields for 83 and deal 83 damage to enemies every 3 seconds. It'll kind of pulse out. You can have a maximum of 3 of these out to start with. They have 450 health. Energy mortars, that is the bread and butter of this build. By the way, this build is called the Hammer of the God builds, and here's why. We're going to get into the Helix in a second, but you're going to be able to buff this thing to do massive amount of damage and essentially become a second ultimate skill that you get at level 2. It's pretty crazy. I'm surprised that they haven't made any changes to this by now and that it's still viable. Black Hole is Kleese's ultimate. It's a gravitational pull that will pull enemies towards your target location, and then will deal some damage to them. So let's jump into the Helix. I'm sorry, before we jump into the Helix, I did want to add that what we're going to do in this series is I'm going to go over a brief overview of the abilities, go over the Helix and what choices you want to pick for the build, and then what gear you need to have or what kind of gear you can use to support the build. And then I'm also going to go over the pros of the build, the cons, and some of the hard counters that I know of to the character. So let's jump into the Helix. Okay, at level 1 you want to take Shocking Pulse on the right, get the bonus damage to shields. It's much more useful. The heals and the mortars isn't necessary, so just ignore it. At level 2, here's where you're going to turn your energy mortars into an ultimate. You're going to turn this thing into a literal hammer of the gods. It's very appropriately named. Overloaded mortars, sorry. Firing your energy mortars will deplete Kleese's shields and add it to their damage. So what it's going to do, let's just say that you have 800 shields. Your 800 capacity shield is going to be divided across each mortar you fire. So at start, they did 22 damage per mortar. They're now going to do 800 divided across the 6. I don't know the math offhand. I know it's something around like 150, 160, somewhere in that range. And it's going to do more damage as you go along. At level 3, I say take Don't Tase Me, bro. Having the additional target arc for the Shock Taser is awesome. This build is all about wave clear, so we want to take things that can help us clear waves better and just help us dominate minions as they try to get close to our sentry. You can take the mutation if you have it. I don't remember at which level which mutations are earned. It has been a while. You can look it up, but if you have the mutation and you do like more of like a sniper gameplay, take it because it will allow Kleese to do heavy damage per shot. It does significantly slow his rate of fire. You don't need Chair Slam. Chair Slam sounds cool, especially for that AoE damage and clearing waves. However, the problem with Chair Slam is if you jump and do it, you only do 160 damage as opposed to, I don't remember the exact number, but a full-on Shock Taser is going to do a lot more damage. And whenever you jump and then slam down for the Shock Taser, you're going to deplete all the energy. So definitely go with Don't Tase Me Bro, or if you prefer sniper play, take the mutation as soon as you unlock it. At level 4, you're gonna take Rift Network. It's gonna give you an extra. It's gonna allow you to link the rifts together, and their output is gonna be multiplied by the number of rifts you have on the field. Unstable Rifts is a very cool skill. However, for this build, it's necessary to keep the rifts up. So you don't want to get a skill where you're going to be destroying them yourself. It's kind of counterintuitive. At level 5, this one's kind of flexible. You want to stay alive as much as possible, so I wouldn't bother with the get ready for a surprise. If you do have a lot of melee characters and you find that you're breaking through, it's going to depend on how the game's going. You could possibly go with that. It just depends on how the game is. If you have the mutation, I highly recommend to take the plus 10 share energy, allow you to keep that shock taser on longer. That is going to help you just destroy minions quicker and things of that nature, especially when you combine that with the additional arc, being able to hold that down longer. It's just nice. It's nice to have that extra ability to clear those waves out. If you feel like you need some extra heals, if your team's staying close around you and huddled around you, get the heal chair ability. This one's very flexible at level 5. So we're gonna move on. Though I do recommend the mutation as soon as you get it. If you don't have the mutation, it's a toss up. Either one will work. Let's move on to 6. Here's another flexible one. First off, at the face value, you would think that you would want to go with the +4 mortars, as this build is all about firing those mortars off. However, what that's going to do is change it from 6 to 10, and the damage is going to be further divided across those mortars. So now, if you miss your mortars, and if you don't connect with them, if you miss a couple, you're going to lose damage because you're firing more mortars out as opposed to just firing the 6. So ignore that skill. It's not going to help you as much as you may think. If you have the mutation and you're having trouble keeping your rifts up, or if you guys are moving up the map pretty quick, go with the cooldown ability so you can keep placing those rifts out. With the Rift Network, 3 rifts is going to be pretty powerful for keeping your shields up. It's really hard to try to pick which ability you really want to go with here. If you don't have the mutation, definitely go with bulk savings. But there's still an argument that you can make to keep the bulk saving skill and have 4 rifts. You could place them out, and when the minions run into them, they'll just take so much more damage, and you could just deny your enemy team pushing forward by having more rifts. So it's a toss up here. If you don't have the mutation, go with bulk savings. If you have the mutation, it just depends on how things are going and what you feel comfortable with. At level 7, you definitely need the mutation because you want bouncing balls of death. What that's going to do is allow the mortars to bounce around the map and hit enemies more than once and deal more damage. Because this build that we're doing, it's all about wrecking that lane and just destroying minion after minion after minion. Just wipe those guys out. If you don't have it, Geezer Pleaser. That's definitely what you want to get. You want to keep your shield up. Keep that up at all times because that's going to help you keeping those mortars fired, keeping that damage up, keeping yourself protected. The ability to fire all of them at once in one target area, if you miss, you wasted it. So I definitely would go with Geezer Pleaser, but you want to get that mutation. You want bouncing balls of death. That skill is incredible. At level 8, you're going to take Brains Before Brawn. I don't know why it says plus maximum shield strength. It is plus 150. We'll get into some gameplay and I'll confirm it in a second, but it is plus 150. This we're gonna get into the gear too and explain, but you want to keep your maximum shield up as much as possible because that's more damage applied to your mortars. At level 9, this is going to be dependent on if you're having trouble with your rifts, keeping your rifts up, they keep getting taken down. Get the health buff, get healthy rifts, and help yourself keep them up. Otherwise, you want to get quick pulse. That's going to do more damage. It's going to wipe more minions quite faster, keep your shields up faster. It's a toss up on how the match is going. If people are ignoring your rifts, go with quick pulse. If you're having trouble keeping those rifts out because they're getting targeted, go with healthy rift. At level 10, it's another flexible one. Um, the main thing I'm gonna say is you probably want to ignore square root of pain, but the argument can be made at this point of the map. You might have them pushed if you guys are winning. If you can place all your mortars out, if you've gone with some of the cooldown abilities where you can place mortars out faster, if you have all four of them out, or I'm sorry, if you have all three of them out and you drop your if you drop your rift, you're gonna trigger all those rifts and they're gonna each explode for 133 damage. You're gonna get the damage from the black hole, and then you're gonna, if you're smart, you'll fire your mortars into it and you'll just do a massive amount of damage. But this build is all about keeping your shields up so you can keep those mortars fired. So I wouldn't go with the ability to destroy your rifts. It's just dependent. Like if you guys are winning, try it out, go for it, see what it's like. It is a fun skill. Insta hole is definitely what you want to get. So you want to try to get your mutations with insta hole. You're gonna reduce the pull time, so you pop that out, immediately suck the enemies to your target location, fire your mortars at the target, wipe all those guys out. Just right, ruin people's day, have a blast. All right, the overshield ability is cool. It's helpful. If you don't have the mutation, I would say go with that because you don't want your rifts destroyed. But if you have the push and you're close to winning, give it a shot. It might be worth it. As for the gear for Kleese, if you have his lore completed, use his legendary. His legendary is a cool legendary. It is useful for Kleese. Getting the 10% heals off restoring shields is nice, especially if you get with the quick pulse and things like that. And you're healing faster and people are turtling up. It's awesome. Anything to help keep you alive and keep your shields up, because it's also going to give you a bonus to shield recharge, and it's going to give you a little buff to your damage, which is going to apply to your mortars as well. You need a shield battery, get one, because this is all about maximum shield strength, getting that shield capacity as high as you can get it so you can apply that damage to the mortars. And I have something to buff skill damage. It also has plus 95 to shield strength. Again, like I said, just anything you can find that will add to that shield strength so you can get the most out of the build. If you don't have his legendary, there are other items. Like I have an attack love that gives me shield strength. I have an attack speed item that gives me shield strength, and I might have some others in here. Or if you don't have anything like that, it's just a regular shield uh, recharge item would be useful. All right, so that's it for the gear. Pros, cons, and counters to this build. The pros are that you're going to dominate the lane. You're going to be able to wave clear very well. You're going to have massive amounts of DPS. You have two ultimate skills with this ability. You have your mortars and you have black hole. The pros are awesome. Cons are Kleese is a large character, so he's an easy target. You are going to be very weak to characters with AoE abilities. Splash damage, anything like Kid Ultra, Ernie for splash damage, and then Oscar and Whiskey, Thorn. I can't remember if I'm missing anyone. Just pretty much anybody who's going to deal out some AoE damage. Benedict, they're going to be able to wipe out your rifts very quickly, and this build is all about keeping that shield capacity up. You don't want to lose your rifts, so you're going to be weak to those characters. You should be mindful of them. It's definitely a con to the build. The other drawback, major con, is the fact that whenever you activate your mortars now, you're going to lose all your shields. So if you're out in the field away from your rifts and you activate them, you're going to be a sitting duck because you have no shields. It's a huge drawback. It is a con, so you definitely want to stay to your mortars. And if you're not paying attention, if somebody is able to wipe your mortars without you notice, wipe your rifts without you noticing, then you fire your mortars, and you're already at low health maybe to begin with. You're gonna find yourself in a very sticky situation. Okay, any snipers? Beatrix, Marquis, Thorn, Toby. Any of these characters are gonna wreck Kleese. Kleese is a large target, so these guys are just gonna absolutely, ruin your day and give you a lot of shit. So watch out for those guys. I recommend maybe bobbing and weaving a lot. keep your mortars up. Keep your mortars up where they can't get them. That might counteract it. You can also be weak to melee characters. If you have your rifts up and you got a full shock taser, you can punish them for getting close. But say a Phoebe rushes you and you chase her off, and then a Wrath comes in, but you're out of shock tasers, you're kind of screwed. He can take you out pretty fast. You do have an escape from melee characters. You can activate jump and activate it again, and you'll hover. Trouble with that is you're easy target for any rage character in the game. Whiskey is an absolute monster to Kleese. If you're fighting a good Whiskey, you're gonna have a bad time. Whiskey can easily pick you out because you're a large target. He's gonna be targeting you heavily with his sticky grenades. He's gonna most likely go with what shields at level 10 and just chew through your health regardless of how many rifts you have. Overdrive will also, even at level 5, will tear through you if he catches you out away from your rifts. So watch out for Whiskey and be very mindful of him. He can just absolutely destroy you. Rende is another one of those AoE characters. Sorry, I just saw her up there, and that made me remember that. She can absolutely just melt away your rifts. So just watch out for those characters. Try to use your mic, communicate with your team, and coordinate around what you're doing, and hopefully they can help you, and they can help you want your assassins to try to harass those snipers and keep them off of you so you can do what you need to do. Alright, that's pretty much it. That is the build. I am going to accompany this with some gameplay, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it was informative. If I missed anything, please let me know. Let's jump in. Alright, welcome to the gameplay section of the video, and of course, the match that I record for this goes the full 30 minutes. I do apologize for the length. I did not intend for it to be that long. If you don't stay for the whole thing, I don't blame you. So just wanted to go ahead and put this out now. If you guys like the video, please give us a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe. We'll have more coming on the way. And just any feedback in general you guys can give us in the comments. We would absolutely love it. My teammates in this match, both of them were using party chat, 2 separate party chats, so they could not communicate with me. I could not communicate with them. Oh, we do lose the match, spoiler alerts, but it was a pretty fun match. It's part of why I missed this game. I missed those awesome moments, those awesome comebacks. So starting out, collect shards. This isn't my favorite match for map for Kleese, but as you see, just place energy rift where it's out of the way. You want to try to get all 3 out as quickly as possible. Avoid taking damage in the beginning. You are kind of squishy despite your size.
In need of recharge, eh?
I am a little rusty. I did take a break from Borderlands for a while, so forgive my play. We'll get better as these videos go on. We lost Montana pretty quick there. Nico. The Kelvin we faced in this was pretty good. I do notice they gave the stun back to Kelvin, and that was cool. That's right there what I was talking about. If I wanted to show you guys, if you fire the mortars and you're not careful, objects will stop them, so they'll be wasted. Yeah, unlimited ammo, no reloads, just fire away.
Alani, don't you splash me, young lady.
Howdy, new best friend.
I was checking to see who the party members were. I noticed that we had a Miko. Miko pretty much sticks with Montana. I'm pretty sure they were in the in a party chat together, which is fine. A dedicated Miko and a tank is a good combination. I do get the feeling these guys are maybe a little new. I'm not sure, especially our Oscar Mike. He didn't do the best. He hung in there. Again, just keep the mortars, and here you go, level 2. Pick up the right helix options, and just start dealing damage. right there, 420 damage. Did not even connect with all the mortars. At level 2, 1 skill. It is hard to connect him, but you can get those moments where you can catch people off guard, and you can hit every last mortar on them. Got an assist. To be quite honest, I'm not sure where this match went so wrong for us. I think it's when they summoned that elite bot. That was a nice combination. Blinded the pillar.
It's about to get killed. Montana with the critical.
I think maybe they should keep Kelvin's stun the way it is. And maybe instead of him being invincible while he's in, I guess it's stalemate or settlemate. I don't remember what the name of the skill is. Maybe he could take reduced damage. I'm not even sure if he is invincible, so don't quote me on that. I haven't played Kelvin in a while. Again, you know, fall back if necessary. Try to keep those rifts out of enemy fire, but where you can get the benefits, where you can pop out of corners, drop mortars. If you have the heal and the support, kind of get up front and keep those mortars behind you, and just keep soaking up those shields, and have, you know, a dedicated healer, and you'll be great. You'll be excellent. The way this match goes does change some of the options I normally take. The fact that we're constantly moving around the map later in the Helix, I do take the cooldown option instead of the 4 rifts. At level 3, take Don't Taste Me, bro. And the reason why I do think I tried to show you at one point, like, a sustained shock will deal well over 160 damage, where 160 is done as an AoE. It's still so much more useful because the shock will, you know, it'll arc the enemies. So that's almost kind of a useless ability. While it does have a cool factor, kind of reminds you of the pre-sequel. I do hope that they, I hope they scrap that one. I mean, they did a big rework of Arinde, I noticed, so maybe they can rework some of Kleese.
Thrall mercenaries spotted on the battlefield.
Man, just so many characters back there were so close to death. Would have been nice to have a sniper. Oh, we have Pendles. Forgot about that. Pendles could have been back there wrecking some guys. Beatrix and her damn silence.
Not as easy as you thought, eh?
It would be nice to try and get some shards at this point, but things were very hectic and we were struggling to hold our own, so I didn't want to leave mid. This is where, I mean, this game is so team-based. Having Pendles with the legendary item that allows us to have, I can't remember what it's called, but you get a percentage of the shards that he collects. Like, a Pendles is perfect for that, man. He can run around the map, collect all the shards, collect the enemy shards. We all get the benefits while we hold the lane, and he can harass when necessary and take out buildables. Pendles is stupid good in these situations. It just sucks that they were all in a party and I couldn't communicate with the guys. And I'm not sure what gear Pendles was stacking anyway. But it would have been nice to get some shards, so that way I could have had some extra shield bonus, extra shield capacity for the mortars. Look at that, man! Like Arinde, just a slither of health. Untouchable back there. I think she got healed by Alani. Here we tried to move up. I probably could have did a better job holding my end. Arinde started to wise up, and she was harassing some of our rifts. Like I mentioned earlier, those AoEs will take those rifts out. Again, look at that. A slither of health. I think Pendles might get her. Nah, he had to flee.
The mind prevails over formerly conscious matter.
Alright, for those of you who's still listening, like I said, I do appreciate it. This is pretty much the build, though. I mean, you don't have to watch this all the way through. You're more than welcome to. Just place your rifts out of the way. Keep them to where they're safe. Try to stick close to them for heals. Move around the map smart.
Not dead yet.
I picked up the shield, the heal chair ability to try to help out Miko, because it felt like for the most part throughout the match we were staying bunched up. So that was an opportunity to take it. Got that sweet KO there. No time to taunt in this match, though, unfortunately. I love this game. We're definitely going to do more content for it. We're going to do some Twitch streams with some PvP and stuff. We're working on making our stream better. And if you guys have any idea for content you want to see, please let us know. I mean, neither one of us consider ourselves to be the greatest players in the world, but I mean, we definitely have our moments. We have a passion for this game. We have a passion for wanting to make these videos. Hope you guys enjoy them. Yeah, but like I said, so any ideas or videos you guys want, please let us know. We'll do our best to accommodate. If you guys like the build, like the way I went over it, I have a few other builds that I haven't seen. I did try to look on YouTube to see. It seems like people were doing these videos in the beginning of the game's launch, and it's kind of left off. I think it's a great tool to try to help attract new players. It's what we can do as a community. You know, it allows people to know, you know, what's an effective way they can, you know, use a character that they may like. Maybe it'll open their eyes to something they didn't see before. My favorite characters in this game are Kleese. Kleese is the one I remember the most. That's why I chose him first. Whiskey, love Arende. I love playing any support. Support's one of my favorite roles to play. Alani's probably my favorite healer just because she has so much other utility. Probably a little overpowered still. I don't know. I'm not sure how they played her. I am going to try to avoid making videos of the characters in the battle plan because I don't want to do a build on somebody and then have their skill tree get reworked. Probably going to do a Rende next. I have a blast using a Rende. One of my favorite characters to play, so that's probably going to be the next build video. And after that, I'm not sure where we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll have some feedback and you guys can let me know who you'd like to see. I would be happy to make a build for them, even if I have to put one together, even if this character I don't use too much. Don't like Diende. I cannot stand her. She is the character that gives me the most trouble facing. I don't like playing as her. I don't like playing against her. Fucking love the sentry. I'm gonna try to keep the commentary going. I mean, there's not much I can say other than commenting on the gameplay. I'm not like a video game commentator extraordinaire, but I'll do my best.
Allied minions have been decimated.
We failed to get Kelvin there, and I was very disappointed. We should have got him.
I will now kill you with math.
They're smart. They're just attacking us from all angles. If I wouldn't have been flying there, I could have tried to punish Caldarius for coming in a little bit too far. But Beatrix was right behind him. Her retarded silence and damage dealing abilities. That silence is stupid good. Like the range on it and everything else, the utility of those little missiles she fires. I think I don't know if she takes the option. I want to say that ability could also slow. if I remember, I played her when she first came out just to try her, and you could get silence, you can get slow, all on one skill. I thought that was pretty dumb. Oh, don't know if that got reworked. I hope it did. I don't mind a silence or a slow, even though a ranged silence is pretty powerful. But you should definitely trade off between two. Those are the two most useful CC abilities, I feel. Slows and other than stuns. But I feel like I think Kelvin is the only one left with a stun. And you got Toby's mine still stun. I think D&D has a stun, but I know they took Ghalt's stun away. Ghalt is somebody else I forgot to mention being a hard counter to Kleese. If you face a good Ghalt, he will constantly yank you away from your rifts and just punish you with that shotgun and those mines. So watch out for Ghalt. Avoid that hook. I did not know they added abilities to the elite. Maybe he always had this ability, but he fires a missile at me, and I did not even know he could do that. Look at that thing. My God. Who gave him the ability to do that? Probably Randy Pitchford. He destroys all things. By the way, I do feel that Randy is solely to blame for the state this game is in. Guy's an asshat.
Mother Nature!
Again, if you're still watching, thanks for sticking in. Do appreciate it. There's that silence again. I want to say, yeah, she was up on the stairs. It's foolish for me to go take her on. I was already at half health. I should have threw a rift farm at her. I get my revenge later in the match, so I'll try to catch it next time I show it. Look at the damage there. Like, I'm the top damage dealer. That's what I wanted to show with this build. With this build, you're just going to be dealing just a massive amount of damage. And if you're not getting in a situation like we are, where you're just getting so much pressure and you can hold your own in the lane, those numbers would be even higher right now. And I'm also where are the minion kill stats? Why is that gone? Why does sentry kill? There's only 2 sentries. Why does that need to be on there? It's not like you're gonna kill 6 or 7 of the damn things. I would love to know what minion kills in this match. I'm sure it's very high. You'll very easily get over 100 with this build. Kelvin is about to sneak up and fuck me. It was an awesome play, and I do commend the bastard. I completely forgot there was a back door. I should have caught him on the radar there. I see that now. I just kind of freak out. Again, I feel like Miko is mainly sticking with Montana. There he is trying to heal Oscar too. But you're about to see what makes this game makes this game great. You know, we get a chance to come back, and if we would have been more coordinated and actually had some communication going, we probably could have turned the tide. This is where I plugged my controller in because I was getting a little frustrated and started to yell for help and things like that. But no one was listening as usual. It's cool. It's fine. It's no big deal. So that is an excellent combo. I fuck it up a few times in this match. I said my play overall is a little rusty, so do bear with me. But popping the black hole and targeting right underneath it, where the mortars will hit right where it lands, you'll melt so much health away. But as you can see, we start to push back at 100 to 36. You know, they had the lead. We were able to come back. Just look at all those numbers. I don't know if you saw them. Just several over 200 damage. For those of you not aware of this build, it's absolutely awesome. But it's not without its faults. So I mean, like right there, I mean, my I wasn't able to get rifts up. My shields are down, so my bread and butter ability is pretty much useless. I mean, it still does some damage, but nothing compared to what it should do. And I mean, we didn't have anyone getting thralls. We didn't have anyone spawning elite bots. I mean, Pendles was doing pretty good. I don't know how many kills he ended up with. I know we all had quite a few deaths, and Pendles probably should have been around collecting shards and keeping at a stream of elite bots. And I don't can Pendles solo the thrall? For those of you still listening. I'm not too certain. It's been a while since I played with Pendles. I feel like he shouldn't have too much of an issue, but he might be a little bit too squishy at this point. If he has life steal on his commas and life steal on what is that ability? Injection. He should be able to get him. Am I wrong, or the thrall still glitched? Do they still march the wrong way on monuments? Did they go collect them? Did they just go piss them off? Not too sure what was going on there. Pillar storms, pillars everywhere. I mean, these guys were pretty wise up. They were getting out of the way just about any time I tried tagging them with mortars. But I mean, you're not trying to get kills. I mean, if you can tag somebody with all your mortars, you're gonna do elite damage. You're gonna you see like right there. Look at that. Just if I would have popped it at the right time, he would have been gone. I missed a couple of those mortars. But I mean, with this build, you're not trying to get kills. You're not going to try to lead the team in kills. At least you shouldn't. They're going to come, and you're definitely going to be able to secure them. But you want to hold the lane. You want to dominate what's going on between the war of the minions. You want to dictate that pace and deny them from going forward. See, it was 150 shields. I wonder why it's like that in the main menu. I said I probably should have just tried to focus that ability on Kelvin. He was just doing so good, so well, so good with that stun. Very, very smart placement of that ice wall. A lot of people fuck that up. That guy was on point. Tried to get a little bit of damage to the sentry. It was probably a waste. Probably should have hung back and stuck with these guys here and waited for them. But what can you do? I'm really surprised that we were able to push back. I'm not sure what happened exactly. I know we were able to secure a couple of kills, but damn, like they pretty much had us on the ropes. That is an incredible combination as well. Miko's healing mushroom, 3 of those rifts, networked. It's fucking awesome. Hey, look at that. Kelvin's pounding me. My health ain't budging. Finally, like he's able to destroy it, but my shields and my health just nowhere. Pendle secures some kills. They really need to add for support. I mean, like if Gearbox still wants this game to do well, there's still quite a few things that this game needs. I think, and for the support classes, fucking Kelvin, man. The support classes should have the ability to monitor everyone's health. Like there's plenty of room on the screen that they can fit, in the top, put it in the top left, just everyone's health. That way you know where to go, you know where to heal. Instead, Miko's just steadily just pumping Montana full of heals, which I plan on doing a Montana build, and it requires the particular build I would like to do requires a dedicated healer of some kind, preferably a Miko. But we're gonna get into that at a later time. I gotta coordinate with a friend to get the footage recorded for that. So again, thanks for listening. We're fixing to wrap this up again with the second wrap up, getting close to the end. I do apologize. The match went to the full time limit, but that's what's so great about this game. I mean, I enjoy the long matches. I mean, I can understand the appeal of having quicker matches, and I do think that this mode would benefit from some type of I don't even know how they could speed it up, but some type of quick mode, some you know alternative mode, still incursion, but maybe one that speeds up the gameplay process a little bit. Maybe where you all start out at level 5 or something. I mean, I'm not too sure, but the matches like these, I mean, they'll go the full 30 minutes, and that'll happen a lot. I can't tell you how many games I had that just went all the way to the end, and the game's never over. That's what I hate, the surrender option. I cannot stand it. I'm glad this team not once did they ask for surrender. Well, I mean, well they might have. I don't know. I played a few matches before this trying to get warmed up, and both those guys asked for surrender at one point. So I can't remember if this one did. I know we didn't from this point on, but I've had matches where we came back in the final 3 seconds. Like we managed to finally break through and bring their sentry down to like 2 or 3 points below ours. I believe we still have that clip saved somewhere. We are going to try to put some montages up of some of our best moments. And you can still get that in other games, but there's something about it that just feels so special. I thought Kelvin was coming through that side, getting ready to get on him. Those one angry Caldarius. About 5.5 minutes left in the match. We're going to wrap up the video. I was trying to get out of there. I just barely survived. Had that Miko on me. I surely would have been dead. But again, I guess gameplay, hopefully it was straightforward of what you got to do, why you need to take what. I forgot to kind of go over it as we were going through. I did take some different options in this match, particularly Monuments is so big. I would definitely recommend going with the cooldown on the rifts on Monuments because you're constantly moving around. It's just such a big map. You're going to want to be able to pump those things out as quickly, more quickly than the standard rate. So the 33-second is nice. Went with the pulse time. That was fine. I went with the heals to try to help Miko. They nerfed that ability just so much, so sometimes I don't even really feel like I'm doing much. I know it's doing something, but I feel like that could stand a little bit of a buff, maybe like 50 or something per second. That might be too powerful, who knows. I don't remember what it was. I know it was way more effective. I want to say it was like 120 per second. I don't know. You guys correct me if I'm wrong if you're still listening. I wish if I would have had insta-hole, I would have got her. Finally take down Kelvin, and this is the point where I made the dumbest mistake in this match that I could have. Taken out by some minions. This is awful. I felt terrible about it. I should have waited for the team. I wasn't too sure what they were doing, but they should have accompanied me. But I finally get her, and I get her with rifts. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. I mean, Montana got her, but if he wouldn't have got her, I would have chased her down. I was pretty pissed from earlier. Yeah, it's like they were dealing with Caldarius back at base, and he starts to attack the sentry. I mean, I guess he could have dealt some damage, but I was just waiting for them, and I didn't. Minions do way more damage than they used to. Like that is crazy. I've never had minions take me out at level 10 before like that, and it was such a small group of them. It just annihilated me. Look at that. Look at that damage. Again, just showing you that the top damage dealer. I think the healing given with that is also for shields. There's no way I out-healed Miko with or came close to Miko's level with just the chair heals. So that's got to be shields too. Gearbox has got to put the minion kills back on the scoreboard. That's so dumb that they took that away. Yeah, look at that. That's stupid. We do have insta-hole now. I don't remember if I was able to catch anybody with insta-hole and popping the mortars on them. There was an Arende down here being awful. Yeah, I tried to do it right there and I missed quite a few. I catch Caldarius here. Thought he was clever. Ah, look at that. Yeah, I mean that ability is a little cheap too. That you just kind of have to hold it down. But you know, I mean it's limited. Caldarius should have immediately retreated when he was fighting me. That's his fault. He died, not me. Wasn't anything wrong with using the shock taser. Sorry, I'm starting to get a little delirious. I know I just keep missing. I keep backing up. Things were starting to get a little intense, and I wasn't too keen on dying again. I was really hoping I was trying to like wait her out and get insta hole and rush in and pop insta hole and get up in her face and just blast her with mortars. Try to get it there. Yeah, I wasn't able to get her into it. A sentry still does a shit ton of damage. There's that fucking Kelvin. Well, alright guys, we're going into the final stretch of the video. It's 40 seconds left. I do appreciate, for those of you that watched the whole thing through, I'm sorry it was 30 minutes. I was hoping for a quicker match, but I didn't want to record another one. I just wanted to go with everything fresh in my mind on what I said previously. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you enjoy this because there's going to be more coming. Please let us know how we did. Give us any feedback you can. We are going to add more to the channel. We are going to add intros, things of that nature. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.